Okay, it's time, people. It's time to cut the BS and face up to the facts that we are in a world where we are constantly distracted. We're getting those notifications, we're getting pulled in every direction. Our minds sometimes feel like they're a laptop with 1,000 tabs open or a million post-it notes. And we feel like sometimes we can't just stop and take a breath. Now, it's not just you, it's nearly all of us, because experts say what we're living in now is a distraction epidemic. So what I want you to do is I want you just to stop just for a moment and close your eyes, obviously unless you're driving or doing something else that you can't close your eyes. But if you are in a position where you can close your eyes, I want you just to stop and take a nice big breath with me. You ready? Big breath in and a big breath out. And if you're able to, I want you to keep your eyes closed. And this is what I want you to do, is I want you to imagine a time where you felt truly happy, truly in the moment. And you had a big smile on your face, or you just felt really content and grateful. And what were you doing? Maybe you were a little kid running on the grass, or just lying down, making cloud animals in the sky. Might have been some other moment where you were hugging your furry friend, or just spending time in nature. Did you notice that in these beautiful times where you're so happy, so blissful, so in the moment, that you're not really thinking? You're not getting absorbed in what you have to cook for dinner or what email you forgot to send. You are just in the moment, in the now. Those thoughts aren't fully getting your attention. You're in the here and now. Now, I want you to keep your eyes closed if you're able to, and I want you to take yourself back to one of the last times that you felt stressed, frazzled, overwhelmed. Hopefully it wasn't just before this video, but it may have been. We are all having these moments because the world feels like it is speeding up, and we can't just put an off switch and say we're not going to be stressed anymore. How does that feel in your body, and how is it so different than what you were feeling when you were imagining yourself as a little kid or in some really amazing happy moment? Often when we are feeling stressed, overwhelmed, burnt out, busy, multitasking, we have got a million things in our mind, so many different thoughts. But when we're able to slow those thoughts down, have those beautiful spaces between the thoughts, this is where we start to feel happy, we start to feel blissful. And guess what? This is actually how we are meant to feel. Now, this is why I am such a big believer in the 1 minute reset, because as I've mentioned before, if you've been watching my videos for a while, we have 1,440 minutes in a day. So I don't want you to overwhelm yourself and think that you have to put yourself in lotus position, sit cross-legged, chant Om, to feel like you have that blissful feeling. But you could take yourself in just 1 minute and start to have some deep breaths, or start to visualize yourself as a little kid. Take yourself back to the memory, slow down those thoughts, have those beautiful tiny moments between the thoughts where there is no thinking. There's just being a human being rather than a human doing, because that's how we are meant to be. So we are living in what is called a distraction epidemic. This is what the experts are saying. And here's some startling statistics that I have found in my research, is that we reach for our phone, our devices, around 96 times a day. That is roughly every 10 minutes. This equates to maybe like 3.5, maybe 4 hours a day. Even more startling is it's around 11.5 to 12 years of your life. 11.5 years that you could have been more connected with your loved ones. 11.5 years that you could have been more creative or innovative, or spent time doing something that you actually enjoy doing. And we're just losing that time. Now, I'm not against devices. I'm not against technology. Otherwise, I would not be streaming to you all around the world. However, we need to have those moments where we can stop and step away and not feel like we're constantly connected all of the time. So you know those thoughts that are constantly in your head? Well, I'm going to show you how to start to slow them down. And you can do that with some of the 1 minute resets. So the 1 minute resets allow you just to pause your day. It's like you're in a fast moving car and you get to have those moments where you put the foot on the brake. You start to come off that ever speeding up highway. Maybe even turn off the engine just for a moment. Allow yourself to reset, to center, to feel grounded, to lower the cortisol and stress hormones in your body, to reset your nervous system so that you can go on, maybe take a bit of a country road for a while before you jump on that fast highway once again. So in the app that I have created, obviously there's so many different types of 1 minute resets, but today I'm going to show you a couple of the ones that you can do in terms of breathing. And these are so powerful because they will just reset that nervous system. You'll feel more calm in your body, not in your physical body, obviously you will, but also in your mind and your mental state as well. They also help to shift the emotions. So it's not about never having those thoughts of being angry or jealous or fearful again. It's about being able to recognize those emotions that you're feeling, having that reset so that you can really start to feel those emotions and then release them, so you're not still holding onto them and taking them with you into the rest of the day. So let's do a couple of these breath works together, and then I want you to choose the one that you found the most powerful that you're going to keep going and trying for the rest of the week. Now, why do I give lots of different choices about the breathing techniques? Because it's like anything. You know, imagine you're going to a buffet. I'm not always going to choose the same food that you're going to choose, but sometimes it's nice to try a whole bunch of different food that you've never tried before, so that you can know at the buffet or the smorgasbord which one to go back and have seconds, or maybe even thirds. So I'm going to give you 3 of my favorite go-to breath techniques. Now, there are more in the 1 Minute Reset app, but if you want to just get started, these are some of my favorite ones to go to. And I share them with lots of family and friends. In fact, my teenagers both use these, especially when they've got, you know, stressful sports trials or maybe exams coming up that they can do. And the trick that I teach them is that nobody else really even needs to know that you're doing them. You can just do them sitting at your desk or when you're about to go for that race, and it just allows you to center and and go at your own peak performance. So here are my 3 go-to ones. So the first one's really simple, and the reason I love this one is because it allows you to notice that belly breathing, that diaphragmatic breathing. So a lot of the time when we are getting stressed, we're feeling overwhelmed, we're sitting hunched over devices, we're only really breathing into that top third of our lungs. Now, we want to breathe like we did when we were little kids and when we were babies. Use that whole lung capacity. When we do this, this allows our belly to go up on the inhale and soften back on the exhale. And this is how we're meant to breathe. It actually slows that breathing down. It makes us feel more calm, has that clarity, makes us more productive, and the list goes on. So the way that you do this is you can put your hands up on your upper chest, and for the first few rounds, you're just going to breathe in for a count of 4 and out for 4. And you can do it with the eyes open or closed. If you have the ability to close your eyes, great. So you're breathing in for 4 and breathing out for 4. You might like to do a couple rounds of that. In the next round, you're going to put your hands on your lower ribs so you can actually feel them expanding up and down. And this time you're going to breathe in for 4 and breathe out for 6. So what we're endeavoring to do is extend the exhale. And this helps to activate the vagus nerve, which helps to lower that stress in your body. So in for 4 and this time out for 6. Now I'm breathing out through my nose, but you can breathe out through your mouth as well. And finally, if you're able to, you're going to breathe in for 4 and out for 8. Now, if you find it's a little bit of a struggle to get to 8, just stick with the 6 instead. Are you ready? So breathing in for 4. This time I put my hands on the lower belly, around the navel. Breathe in for 4 and breathe out for 8. Nice. So that's the 4, 6, 8 breath. Okay, so the next one I'm going to show you is one of my personal favorites. If I wake up at, I don't know, 1 or 2 or 3 a.m. and I start to have those thoughts in my mind and have trouble getting back to sleep, this is one that I personally use as well. So this time we're going in for 4. We're going to hold for 7 and breathe out for 8. Once again, if you find it too hard to hold for 7 or breathe out for 8, just shorten it. The idea is to hold or have retention of the breath for a certain period of time, and then a slower exhalation out than the inhale. So you ready? We'll just do 1 or 2 rounds of this. And once again, you can have maybe one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly, or both hands on the belly. In for 4, hold for 7, and out for 8. Good. Okay, so the next one is the very popular box breathing. If you haven't heard of box breathing, this was used by yogis, but it's also been used by people like the Navy SEALs. So people that go into very high stressful situations and they can't control what's going to happen. And they often do this as a team, so as a network or a community together, because they know that this is going to help calm them down individually, but also collectively as well. So basically you're drawing an imaginary box when you do this. So usually it's in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, and hold for 4. And you do it like 3 or 4 times. If you want to go for longer, great, but around 4 times is a nice amount. Today we'll just do it 2 times, and I will guide you once again, hands down, or maybe one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly. So let's do it now. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. One more round. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, and hold for 4. Awesome. So that is 3 amazing breathing techniques that will help to crush your stress. You'll get back your control, you'll find your calm, and you'll feel like you have just put that foot on that fast moving vehicle that you're flinging on down the highway. It's a really powerful way to have a reset. If you can, when you're doing these, close the eyes. If that's not a possibility for you, you're in a room just about to take an exam or do a presentation, even just doing it with your eyes open is perfect. So what I want you to do is I want you to try those in the next day or 2 and put a comment below on which was your favorite, which one worked the best for you, maybe which one you shared with others as well. So that's my challenge for you, is to try them all and work out what your number 1 go-to breath is. If it's none of those and you want to share with everybody in the community, pop that down in the chat below.